Hi, welcome to another Get a Clue Casual Gamer. Today we're going to look at a game that my friend suggested. I asked her what game would she like me to do to get a clue about next, and she asked me had I done one of this one yet, and I'm like no. So here we are. Today we are going to get a clue about Picture Perfect. Picture Perfect is another very different game. And as soon as we get a clue about it, you'll see why and how. So, excuse me if I'm taking some weird breaths or coughing or whatever. I am still home with COVID. I've added a little bit of color to my face. I don't normally wear makeup and I don't have any base on. Just put a little bit of cream on and a little bit of lip gloss on just so that I don't look quite as pale or sallow as I feel. And yeah, the COVID is really just holding on, mostly in my lungs and sinuses. I do have asthma, and so I think that's where it's staying the longest. And of course, I don't normally talk a lot, except right now. So, excuse me if I start coughing or taking some very deep breaths. Excuse me, my goodness. Okay, so let's get a clue, C-L-U-E, about Picture Perfect. Again, Picture Perfect, big box. C, components. What are you going to find when you open this box? Well, you're going to find some stuff that you need to punch out and put together. First of all, just letting you know that. You're going to have 4 of these tables that you're going to put together. There are 2 different designs, but there are 4 different tables. And you're also going to have all these people to punch out. And then you put them on these little plastic stands so that they all can stand up, hopefully, in your game. One side will have their picture, one side is just their silhouette. In the game, you're going to be wanting to look at their faces, their picture side. And there are 10 standees per person. And this game is for it says 1 to 4, 2 to 4. What is it? 2 to 4. But I thought I read somewhere that there's a solo mode. Anyway, each person will have 10 standees and 10 items that go on the table. So rather than taking on and off the standees, I just put each person's set in a Ziploc baggie, just normal sandwich Ziploc baggie. And then I kind of stick that for space in the box. I put that inside of one of the tables. And like I say, there are 4 of those. Now there are also going to be 4 floor plans. You can either choose this side, which is like an outside stone, or an inside hardwood floor. And it's going to be laid out like this. And the table, let me get one of my tables. Once it's laid down on the ground, on the table, on your gaming table, you're going to be putting the table on your floor in the table. There we go. So it will look like that. Okay? So that's what you're going to have, how you're going to use those. Each person will also have one of these 4 backgrounds. And these little, I always forget what they're called while I'm doing these videos. And when I watch the video afterwards, I go, yeah, and right now I've gone blank again. But in the meantime, This is what it looks like to your fellow players, but each one has a different background, which is why some are outdoors, and let's see, what one's this? And some are indoors. So it doesn't really matter. It's just detail of how individual they're trying to be with this game. So there's 4 floors, 4 backgrounds, 4 tables, and 4 sets of people and items for the tables. But what do you do with all of that? Now, my friend says she feels like she's playing with paper dolls when she plays this game. But anyway, you also will get an envelope, one of these little slide-in envelopes for each of the standees, whether it's a person or the dog or a plant, because there actually is one. But for instance, this is for one of the people at your dinner party or your picnic, and each one will have its own envelope, and inside will go 3 cards. And there are all these cards that will be going in those envelopes. They have the envelope symbol on the back, and on the front they have different criteria. The premise of this game is that you are the photographer and you are trying to get the perfect picture. The perfect picture. Picture perfect. And you want to place all your people, all your characters, in just the best place that will make them the happiest. So the cards that go into these envelopes, they get shuffled, and 3 of them get put into each envelope. The one that I'm looking at right here says, I want to stand in the 3rd row. Okay? And it even shows you what they consider the 3rd row. So compared to the table, and actually if you look at the floor, let me show you the floor so you can see it clearly. It's the same layout. It shows you that that character wants to be someplace in this row. And so you just take that person and you place them somewhere in that row. But somebody else might say, I want to be standing next to this person. So now, but they also want to be standing in the 4th row, and they want to be not have their face seen. It's like you're trying to make each person stand in just the right place so that you can get the most points at the end of the game. Because the more they're happy, the more points you get. Okay, so there's these envelopes with each of the people on it, and there's going to be 3 cards in each, so you have all those cards. But you'll also have at the end of each round, and there are 6 rounds to give you a chance to see as many of the envelopes as possible, because you only have 3 envelopes at a time. But there's also these cards that say something like, at the end of the round, it says, pick one of your envelopes and give it to the person to your right, and then the person to your left is giving you one of theirs, and so then you can look at those and do it. Or take one of the ones that's in the middle of the table and replace it with one of your own, and then everybody does that, and somehow you end up with a different person and their 3 requests, and you just fill that out. So basically that's all of the components, except you do get 4 of these, because at the end of the game you're going to take a picture with your phone or somebody else's phone, and you're going to score from that, and each person will have one of these little squares to put on their scoreboard, and they will go plus or minus depending on how good a placer of people they are. And just so that you know how to score, to remind you how to score, this is how you score. So everyone is just scoring their own thing at the very end, and then you see who has the most points at the end, and that person wins. That person took the most perfect picture. There's also the rule book, the game rules, and there's another book that it's nice and all, but it's absolutely not. I mean, it's the photography guide. You can play the entire game with just the game rules for thing, which is all the components. I told you there's a lot of components. And then the game setup. And then these are the actual rules for the game. That's it. So, C, components. All of that is in this box. When you open this box, what are you going to find? All of that. Second thing, length of play. It says 45 minutes, and by the time you've done 6 rounds, it's about 45 minutes. I would say that that's pretty close to true. Once everyone knows how to play it, it'll go much more smoothly once you've played it a couple times, because then you know, oh, that's what I need to keep track of. So length of play, it is about 45 minutes. Uniqueness. Again, unless you want to think of it as playing with paper dolls, there's no other game I know of that is like this. It is so unique. It is the epitome of unique. There maybe because has become popular, maybe other companies, other people will start developing games similar to this. I would say it is a little bit of deduction. The 3 cards in the envelope kind of remind me a little of Clue, because you're trying to deduce from these cards where is the best place for this person, plant or dog. And there's one dog, one plant. It's just so you know, the rest are people. And so it's a little bit of deduction and deciding. It's a little puzzly, but it's very unique. There's no real other game like it. And ease. How easy is it to learn, teach, play? How easy is it to find? How easy is it on your pocketbook? Okay, learn, teach, play. It really is. It's easy to explain. It's easy to learn. Usually it takes one game or one game really to solidify how unique this is and how to really play it. So don't be stressed about that first play. It's because it's so different. And at the end, when you're scoring yourself, you go, oh, if I had thought of that, I could have put him on the corner and it would have been next to both of these people, and that person could have stood a little bit in front and that would have hidden his face and I would have gotten an extra couple points. Oh, next time I play this, I'm going to remember this. I'm going to remember that I can work it around, and or you know what? One of those things is just not going to happen because it's impossible. Sometimes you get 2 cards and one says he wants to be in the front row and one says he wants to be in the back row. He can only be in one of them. So, it takes a little bit of that learning, but it's not a hard concept to pick up, and it looks so cool. In fact, let me show you the back of the box. This is kind of like an example of what it might look like at the end. See, you just have the different people in the different spots around the table. There's the dog, and I don't see the plant. I don't see the plant there yet. And they've got the dog on the table, and the dog doesn't go on the table. He never wants to be on the table. The only things that are normally on the table are the dishes and the little bottles of wine and the candelabra. Oh, there's the candelabra. So that's kind of what it would look like at the end of the game. So that's Ease. It's really not a hard game at all. It's quite simple concept, yet a little puzzly, and just like the worker placement, where think of it as workers and where can I place them to get the most points, to make them the happiest in this final picture. And then easy to find. Right now, places like Amazon, no, it's not there. But I checked Barnes and Noble online, and even the one near my house, the closest one to me, has it in stock. They might only have one or two, and actually where I bought it was Barnes and Noble, because no place online had it at the time I got this, and so I actually got it at Barnes and Noble. Yeah, but if you have flags of friendly local game store, they very likely will have a copy or two of it. And if all else fails, you can check online. My two go-to places besides Amazon, my online game stores that I go to are GameNerds.com and MiniatureMarket.com. And Game Nerds has it right now for $32.47. So that's how easy is it on your pocketbook. Retail is $44.99 or $45, and that's what Barnes and Noble charges is retail, unless yours has a sale going on. But Game Nerds has it for $32.47, which is $12.52 off. But Miniature Market has it for $31.99, which is $13 off. And they have it in stock. Both of them have it in stock right now. So, so availability, it's there. Ease on your pocketbook. 45 is a little on the high end, but if you can get it for $32, $33, that's a reasonable price for the quality of everything and the amount of everything that you have. And also, if by chance you want enough for 5 or 6 players, there is an expansion for it that can be purchased to expand it. It'll give you enough, 2 more sets of this, 2 more sets of everything, so that you'll have enough for 6 people, plus some more of these cards, and more of these as well, to fill, and probably more of these, probably more people. I don't know. Huh. Interesting. But definitely enough for 5 or for up to 6 people to play. And let me look at and see if I did not check to see if Picture Perfect expansion is available. Okay, Miniature Market has some in stock for $14.49. It retails for $19.99. So that's, if you're going up, 4 is not enough for what I need, and you want to get the expansion, $14.49 in Miniature Market, and I'm sure Game Nerds has it as well. So it is available, and that is Picture Perfect, a very unique, I'm looking at the sides to see if it's different there. Nope. Very unique game. Again, this is what it can look like at the end, or maybe just in the near the end of the game. That's what your setup will look like. The people will, every game, because you've shuffled those request cards up, every game will be a little bit different in requests. So no 2 games will be alike. Simple as that. So happy gaming. God bless you and your family. And until next time, and hopefully, I'm hoping not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow is the first time I can get retested to see if I can go back to the outside world. I have not been in the outside world except to go to the end of my driveway to check the mail. That's it. I am missing the outside world. Though I also am missing energy. Yeah, like I said in my last video, I will probably now go and take a nap because I have used up all my energy for the next foreseeable hour or two. So, and yeah, and also once I get over this, I'll need to go back to the doctor and get a refill for my inhaler because I've been using it a lot this week. Anyway, have fun, happy gaming, and picture perfect. It is a unique yet simple game. Yeah. And oh, by the way, Darlene, this one was for you. Bye. Subscribe, like, do all of that for this channel. Because, you know, right now, oh, and if you have a game that you've heard of that might be something you're interested in and you'd like me to do one of these, if I know anything about it, I will be glad to do one of these videos for you. Until next time, bye.